Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Cohen, and welcome to our podcast series at TAPinto Westfield. Today we have Meaghan Murphy on the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, and I'm excited to be here.
Now, I know the big thing here is that you're giving back to the community. So, can you tell us how you're giving back to the community? And your title is Chief Spirit Officer.
Yeah, so I am officially the appointed Chief Spirit Officer of Westfield, aka Bestfield, New Jersey, and pretty pumped about the title. It's like a dream title. I actually want to change my title from Executive Editor of Good Housekeeping to Chief Spirit Officer of Good Housekeeping. I like it that much. But really, my mission is to be a volunteer cheerleader for this town. I'm raising my family here. And that just makes me want it to be the best town it can be, a really happy, vibrant, exciting place to raise our kids.
How did you come up with the name, the title, Chief Spirit Officer?
I have a lot of spirit. I was voted most school spirit in high school, and it's sort of a joke around the office that I am the spirit officer at Good Housekeeping. And I was doing an event in town, Girls Night Out at the Farmhouse store, and my friend Vern Yip from HGTV came in for the night. And he sort of gave me the title. He's like, "You have so much spirit. You should be the chief spirit officer of this town." And ironically, the mayor had been there, and Vern was joking with him. And it all kind of came out. And the mayor called me the next day and said, "Hey, this chief spirit officer thing, I think this has legs. Like, do you really want to be the chief spirit officer?" And I was like, "Yes, I'm so excited. I think it's like my most exciting job to date. And yet it doesn't pay anything."
How have you been received from the community? Is the community, do they like the name? Do they like the title? Do they like what you're doing? I know there's three, four questions in there, but you could choose whichever one you want to answer.
So I think the name is loaded. So for me, the creation of the name is best rhymes with West, right? Bestfield. I think some people, I guess apparently in high school circles, there's been the teams sort of have an elitist mentality and say, "Hey, we're the best." I think there's nothing wrong with striving to be the best you can be. And to sort of counterbalance that, I've started something called Squad Love, New Jersey Squad, and we've kind of reached out to other towns, and Garwood is now Gargood, Cranford is cooler in Cranford, Scotch Plains is Scotch Not So Plains, Kenilworth is Kenilworth It, Springfield is Springfield of Dreams, and so on and so on and so on. And it's sort of this movement to really embrace your town and be proud of your town and be like, "Hey, guess what? We want to be the best. We want to be better." And that's not saying we're better than you, Cranford, because, hey, guess what? It's pretty cool in Cranford. And you know what, Garwood? We're buddies. Let's high five it out because you're Gargood. So it's really this movement of just celebrating what makes you special, what makes you unique, trying to be the best version of you in a really innocent kind of way. Best rhymes with West. I mean, that is truly the core of the name.
So instead, I know some people get caught up in best being the best. That means others aren't as good. But really, it's a play on words, and it's a fun way of describing a town, and it goes on in hand with the other towns that have similar names.
Sure, yeah. I mean, legitimately, it's just rhyming. Like, I mean, would we call it Worstfield? I mean, that's the thing. And I think words have whatever power you give them, right? I'm not saying, "We're the best field, we're the best field, you stink." No, we're saying, "Hey, Bestfield, let's be the best town we can be." In the same way that Oprah or Dr. Oz says, "Hey, be the best version of you." Let's be the best version of us. It's about striving to be the best we can be. And that means a positive, vibrant, exciting town. Is that so wrong? Because we can all point at the bad, right? That's super easy to say, "Here's a problem, here's a problem, here's a problem." I want solutions. I want excitement and energy surrounding this town. I sort of have this tagline, "Small town, big spirit." And I think that, energy is contagious. And if the energy we're putting out there is positive and happy and excited, then, it's a win-win for everybody.
What have you done? Would you say contributions, and how has this helped the town?
Well, I think that so some of the things we've started was the Bestfield Rocks movement, and that's part of the larger kindness project that's happening nationally. And it is simply painting and decorating rocks with inspiring images or messages and hiding around them around town. We've done quite a few. And the neat part about that is I think when someone sees it or finds it, it makes them smile, it brings them joy. It's just like a happy little accident. You see this and you're like, the rock says, "You're stronger than you think you are. You're having a stinky day. Your dog just died. Like, you got a bad test result." and maybe you're stronger than you think you are. And that rock is letting you know that. We did a painting party with Learning Express, got a lot of kids in the community involved. I have a neighbor who paints quite a few of those rocks, and he's going through a tough divorce. And painting those rocks and coming up with these creative slogans has been this incredible positive outlet for him, and I'm proud of that. It's helped him tap into this artistic side and found something to do in those lonely hours where like he maybe is not feeling so great. So I'm really proud of that project as well. We've done something. We partnered with the Boys and Girls Club of America. We have a donation box in the town bookstore to help drive foot traffic there. We have a donation box in the Athleta store to help drive foot traffic there. A big part of my mission is really to try to connect businesses and connect store owners and to really highlight all of the awesome stores and all of the awesome things that are happening in town. So tonight is a really big event. Lori Gelman, the author of the bestseller Class Mom, will be at the Athleta bookstore from 7 to about 9 p.m. And what we've done leading up to this book signing is some neat things. We are selling the book at the town bookstore. So we're driving people to the town bookstore to get that book. With that, the first 50 people to buy the book there got a Westfield prize. So we had nail polishes and motivational message bracelets and calendars and all kinds of goodies for the people who went to that store instead of stinking Amazon to buy the book. Shop local, shop Westfield. That's a big part of this Love Where You Live mission. So we got all these new people into that store, already sold 50 books, profiled her in the TAP with our Meet the Neighbors column where we've profiled different people in the town that are doing good, making change, and their 5 best things about the town to help get people excited about all the things that are happening in town. So we got people to that store. Now this event is it's called Westfield Day.
Well, we're taping on Thursday, September 14th, so this will probably be out after that taping. So while this is an event that is happening today, is there future events or that you could piggyback off of this event?
Well, and we've only just been getting started. The Westfield mission sort of launched like a couple of months ago. And this is a new undertaking for me. And to be quite honest, I have 3 kids and a full-time job in New York City. So I only have so much bandwidth, but I am going to be having spirit meetings and looking for more events and more exciting ways to involve the community. So the event that happened on September 14th, really the motivation for that was also to connect all these businesses. So every hour upon the hour from noon to 9, there are giveaways and will be giveaways and were giveaways from all of the local businesses. So there's a gift certificate, $100 gift certificate from Lamani up for grabs, $100 gift certificate from Sweetwater up from grabs, classes at Orange Theory and at Poe and, Westfield Towel and Pillow from the Farmhouse store. So it's really getting a lot more eyes on all of the different businesses, bringing all those businesses together. The Salad House is providing food, Nos Vinos creating a best teeny drink, Peapod Cookies is making Westfield cookies. So it's really just this drive to unite everybody as a strong, excited community. That's really the end goal of any of this, because the truth is, I benefit in no way, and I just want that to be clear. Like, I don't own a business. I don't make any money off of this. I have 3 kids and a full-time job in New York. I bust my butt, but I care about this town so deeply. This is where I've chosen to raise my family, and that's important to me. And I want it to be a vibrant, happy, positive, exciting place to live.
How did you choose to live in Westfield? Like, why do you like Westfield so much?
My husband and I grew up in Bridgewater. I grew up playing soccer here. I played soccer tournaments on the end of my block, which to me is like, it just gives me this cozy feeling of home. I did my skills and drills and my soccer at Parisi. I studied with them for all my skills and drills work. And I just love I grew up like going to Nirvana and back in the day going to Haagen-Dazs for a scoop of ice cream. Like my mom would drop us off, the posse of teenagers, and we'd walk town like the way I watch the teenagers walk town now. And we always just thought like, oh, Westfield is the best. It's so cool. Like they're so lucky to have this downtown. Like, yeah, I could have gone to the Bridgewater Mall, but I just wanted to be dropped off in Westfield. So I've always just had this like really romanticized notion of this incredible downtown. And then when we were looking to move to the suburbs, I obviously wanted a nice commute. I wanted something, move walkable to the train station. And just like this really amazing sense of community. I met this woman on the bus the other day who had lived in Westfield for many, many years, and she had said she loves this town. She had lost her husband suddenly, and the way the town rallied around her in that moment um, was just incredible. And I want to be a part of a town that cares that much.
So how do you feel then being a part of this, being growing up, seeing it, and now you're actually a part of it
Yeah.
and doing it?
I mean, I feel so grateful every day. I flex that gratitude muscle. I feel grateful that I get to live here. I feel grateful that I get to raise my family here. I'm grateful for the school system. I'm grateful for the fact that I can shop local. I can go to Lord and Taylor's and make my own Westfield tea, and then I can go to the farmhouse store and furnish my home and still get my pumpkin spice latte, at Starbucks, and shop the sale racks at Banana Republic, and then maybe go for a gluten-free pizza at Casa de Pizza, which is pretty much the best gluten-free pizza on the planet. That's exciting to me. I mean, I just feel blessed and lucky that I get to be a part of this town.
So let's back it up. Let's say you had your ideal day in Westfield, a Saturday. How would you spend it? Like, where would you go? What places would you go?
If I'm not on the soccer field with my three children from 8:30 to 5:30.
Or yeah, let's say that you are, but maybe in between soccer games, you want to get a bite to eat here,
Oh,
or
gotcha.
how would you?
We have so many favorites. My kids love Vicky's, but I love the Westfield Diner. So we're always divided on that because the Westfield Diner has gluten free pancakes. I have celiac disease. So I'm like partial to the really good gluten free places. Ferraro's has like the most amazing gluten free menu, by the way. Um, but it would definitely, the day would probably start with like a short stack of pancakes at either Vicky's or Westfield Diner, depending on who won out. Um, we live near Mindawaskin Park, so my kids love to play on the swings there. I am pretty much always found hiding spirit rocks through there. My kids and I hide the rocks, and then we get a real kick out of either setting back and spying and seeing and watching people notice them and find them, which just really brings us a lot of joy, or like sneaking back to see if they've moved. Um, and that's a key. People have confusion over the rocks. You can take one home and you can put it on your nightstand, whatever, but I do ask that you paint it forward. I would love it if you take a rock home. Great, enjoy it. I'm so glad it made you smile, but paint it forward. Paint your own rock, hide that rock. It is so much fun to find them, and it is so much fun to hide them, and it is so much fun to find out where they turn up.
We spent a lot of time in Tamaqua Park. I haven't seen a rock there. Are there rocks there?
Oh, there are rocks everywhere. We have three giant buckets, and someone who was nice enough to donate a bunch of. They were removing a rock garden and donated all the buckets, and so I have buckets of rocks in my garage. The pumpkin Halloween rocks are about to roll out, literally. There's a one with the pie sign on it. That's pumpkin pie 3.14 Avogadro's number. There is a pirate one that with a patch. That's pumpkin patch. There are some really fun rocks. We have a lot of fun with the puns, and we do them specifically, sometimes targeted to businesses too. So we'll make them specifically for businesses, just to say, okay, go find this rock. Because we really, I mean, part of the mission is to get people to shop local and not Amazon.
You mentioned that this position is a volunteer position. Have people given you any pushback or question your motives in any way?
I think that I'm often misunderstood because I'm happy and I am grateful and I enjoy life. And I think sometimes people question that and don't understand. I choose happy. I flex that muscle. I've had some hardships in life, and as a result of that, I choose happy. And it's a muscle that if you continue to flex, grows stronger. And I think that I am very positive because I work very hard at seeing the good. Um, and so I think people can't always wrap their head around that and are like, is she for real? And the truth is, I'm for real. Like, but I work at it. I work at it. I flex that muscle because I truly, truly, truly want to be the good.
So they think there's another political or something else agenda behind this, but you're saying that that's
Yeah,
not the.
and it's like it's actually funny to me. I think part of that. I mean, I guess it's an election season, so people that gets misconstrued. I mean, the mayor appointed me this position. He's the mayor of the town, So I don't know who else would have appointed me. I'm grateful for that appointment. I think Andy Skibitsky is a really great guy, but I'm not campaigning for him. If you know me, I'm like the least political human being alive. That's just not how I function in the world. Um, so yeah, I think I'm misunderstood in life, so I'm not surprised that I'm misunderstood in this position. And I think, like we've kind of been chatting, like when you go through stuff, I mean, to be honest, I lost my father to terminal cancer in a matter of 5 months. You watch that? That was last year, right? I can like crawl in a hole and die and be miserable, or I can focus on the good, and I call it Operation Good Grief. And part of that is like being that good in this town. Is that so bad? I mean, it's like a form of therapy for me in some ways, but I think you can get misunderstood in that respect.
You've seen your good though, helping other people, as you've said.
I'm thrilled. You know what? If the Boys and Girls Club, our drive for backpacks and school supplies was overwhelming. It was one of the best responses they've ever had, and I'm so grateful that the town um, came forward and brought all of those school supplies. Like, we here in Westfield, okay, maybe our kids don't necessarily need a free backpack, but in Plainfield, maybe they do. And we ensured that those kids went back to school with the supplies they needed to succeed. I feel good about that. I mean, and there's a million causes and a million ways they can help, but it's, if we have some small impact, that's pretty awesome.
And let me, you also, you said your full-time job, you work for Good Housekeeping. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. I've been in magazines for 22 years. I've been the executive editor of Good Housekeeping for about 3.5 years. I run I oversee the magazine. I top edit all of the sections. And I also do some television as sort of the face of the brand in the lifestyle realm. I do the Today Show, and I do Live with Kelly and Inside Edition. I often film in people's homes around town when I do my cleaning special, like what germs lurk under your fridge. Yeah, so I'm busy. I am busy. I mean, we have 30 million readers. 1 in 5 American women read Good Housekeeping. Um, so that fills my days, but this is sort of my passion. I've always been Jersey strong, Jersey proud. I'm so proud of the fact that I've never lived in New York, even though I've worked there for over 22 years. I'm a Jersey girl. I beat my chest when I say New Jersey. I'm like, Jersey!
In terms of how is Westfield in terms of germs and in terms of like cleanliness and housing and that type of in terms of your
Well,
professional.
well, invite me in for one of my Inside Edition Smackdowns and you'll find out. But yeah, no, this town is beautiful. It's clean. It's pristine. I mean, Sherry Cronin does a really great job with the downtown council. I mean, the flowers are beautiful. It's a pretty town, and I don't think people stop enough to appreciate that. I mean, the new paint job on James Warren Mansion, how great is that? Not just because orange is my favorite color, like it's beautiful. And that's so great. Like, stop and appreciate that instead of complaining or whining about the bad. It is so easy to see what's wrong. And I'm an editor. It's my job to see what's wrong, but it's also my job to fix it. And it's like, fix it or see the good. Like, what's good in this town? What's good in this world? It's way harder to do that. And once you start flexing that muscle, it will have such a positive impact on you.
Where would you recommend people go to see really nice flowers or houses or in Westfield?
Oh my, the whole town is gorgeous. And that's what's so neat. There's so much character here, and it's not so cookie cutter. No house is alike. And I think that's kind of the charm, right? It's not like this cookie cutter development. Every house has so much character and so much spirit that, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, what? Look around you. Find those little beauties. They're everywhere.
And in terms of your, do you do writing for Good Housekeeping? What is your,
I have written in the past. I was at Self Magazine for 9 years as the fitness director, which anyone who follows me on Instagram at Meaghan B. Murphy knows that I am constantly working out. Yes, I was the fitness director of Self Magazine for 9 years. I have my ACE spin and kettlebell certifications, so I do quite like exercise. So I did do fitness columns and that kind of thing, and I've run. I was editor at Cosmo for a long time. Did a lot of long form pieces there. I don't do so much writing now. I do the Meet the Neighbors column for the
right?
TAPinto Westfield, but I mostly top edit, plan it, and oversee a team. So I help decide like what's the lineup, what stories are going to go in, help packaging the stories, help kind of getting the magazine out the door. That's what I'm more in a big picture role now as the executive editor.
So you talking about your Tap into Westfield column? Can you tell us about that?
Sure, that's called Meet the Neighbors, and if you have any fun neighbors that we should be know about or write about, reach out to me and message me on the Westfield, New Jersey Facebook page. And P.S. That is a positive only, happy place to share good things, any events, any really cool people, anything exciting happening, as well as the Westfield, New Jersey Instagram account. Also, happy, happy, joy, joy, all negative energy is blocked or delete it. That's not the goal there. But if you know anybody cool, one of our features was this woman named Natalia Goldman, who is like this super creative, like this amazing mother of four who cruises around on this orange motorized bike. And who knew, she's also a top eye surgeon. So really highlighting some of the cool people like that lives in town. The next one was this guy named Pete Brown, who had a one-hit wonder in the 90s. He was in the band Weezer, and he had Teenage Dirtbag. Who knew? He's living amongst us. So it's like really a way to highlight those really cool people that are in town, and then also give their best list, focusing on like, hey, what's great about this town? What are your 5 favorite things? So that I can go to Vicky's Diner and order that omelet, or I can go to that park and look for that, beautiful whatever. It's sort of, I know what I know. What do you know? Like, let's share the good so that we can all experience it, because we all come from a different vantage point, right? So the goal of that is really to see, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know to go there. Holy smokes, like you can make a custom t-shirt at Lord & Taylor on it. It's like that kind of thing, just sharing what we know, because we all come from a different perspective.
How do you find these people? It must be some good stories just finding them.
Well, my husband says I'm like a mayor because I just talk to everyone. And I mean, I have a favorite cashier at ShopRite at 6:30 in the morning, Georgianne, who like. So I'm constantly talking to people, and I really am of the mindset that everyone has a story, everyone has something to share, everybody has something really unique and special and amazing about them that needs to be brought to life. So if you run into me in town, I will probably chat you up. I will probably find out what your story is, and I will tell it. And in some ways, one of the next ones I'm going to do is Jane Hoffman, who runs this incredible organization called Birthday Wish. So it's also, I did one on the owner of the town bookstore. So it also can be a way to highlight a really great charity, a really good business, somebody that has something cooking that's pretty cool that we all need to know about also. It's really just a way of letting the town know what's cooking.
When do they come out? How often are they done?
As often as I can get them out. I can't compromise my big job, because that pays the bills and will ultimately send my kids to college. So, it's really, for me, it's like striking a balance of like, I've got the, November issue of Good Housekeeping due at noon tomorrow. Maybe I better finish that before I write another Tap column, So I've spread myself a little too thin, which is kind of the way I like it, because I do have a lot of energy, thank goodness. My husband calls it like there's like a hamster on the wheel and it's kind of constantly going. So I have to be doing, or I don't like to be stagnant, but sometimes I spread myself a little too thin.
Can you tell us the most interesting way you've met one of the features for your column?
I'm trying to think an interesting way. I mean, it's usually like the bus stop, the bus, the train platform, in line at Starbucks, in line at, like, I talk to everyone. My kids are always like, Mom, can we just go? Like, my husband builds in like 25 minutes to anything we're doing, because he knows he won't be able to. Back to school night, the other night, last one there, the principal had to like ask me to leave, because I'm like, I have to talk to everyone. Like, my daughter's, her second grade teacher. She's been in Westfield 16 years, and she marches in the Thanksgiving Day parade. This will be her 9th one, and she held the Pokemon balloon last year. And I'm like, who finds that out on back to school night? But I need to know. I like to feed off of other people's energy, and I love to help celebrate and share what makes other people special.
Well, what do you have? Anything future plans you'd like to share with us?
We've got a lot cooking. The Class Mom book signing and event, that was a big one. Lori Gelman is a national bestseller. She's been on Live with Kelly twice. Getting her to come to Westfield was a pretty good get. I'm super excited about that. Trying to figure out how to top that, because that was like a really good multi-business, everybody involved, and cool event that also gave back to the community. I'm very, very touched and excited by the Imagine organization, looking into having a rock painting party with them, highlighting their founder, and doing some work with them. That's it. Anyone listening who knows a great charity, knows a great organization, is involved with anything that needs to be sort of high-fived, reach out to me on the Westfield, New Jersey Facebook page. I try to answer as many messages as I can. The secret is it is just me, running all of that. So I've done on some of the things like, call Westfield. Well, it really is just me. So I try to get to every message, and I try to be as involved as possible. But lots of neat things on the horizon, and we do have spirit meetings before the town council meetings. So the next one, I believe, what's that Tuesday? I think it's the 21st, whatever that Tuesday is, and we'll have a spirit meeting before the meeting. So if you want to voice positive concerns, have ideas, it's not a place to bitch and moan. We don't do that. But if you have a really cool idea, I met this woman dropping my son off at the bus this morning who was like, hey, what if we got the carousel on auction from Bowcraft and set it up somehow by the train station and created and I'm like, genius. How can we make that happen? So big pie in the sky ideas like that, let's surface them and figure out how we can make them happen.
And is there any, in conclusion, we're winding down here, is there any funny stories or anything you'd like to share about, I know you've shared stories for the whole time we've been here, but is there any story that particularly comes to mind?
Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know. I'm not good on the spot. Every day is a story and everything is a story to me. I joke that I could turn a telephone pole into a story. I think I can't think of anything that super jumps out. And the other irony about me is I never look backwards. I only look forward. So sometimes my recall is terrible because I'm always on to the next thing. I don't dwell on the past. I'm so in the present, and I think part of that is my degree is in theater. I was a trained actress, so I'm very much in the live in the moment, be present, react truthfully. So I have a hard time looking back because I'm always looking forward.
Well, let me ask you, in conclusion, if somebody wanted to get involved with the helping you out, how would they do that? Have people said they want to work with you?
Yeah, and we've had meetings. So I kind of unofficially call it the Spirit Squad, and we have those meetings before the town council meetings. And I post those meeting invites on the Westfield, New Jersey Facebook page. So that's kind of the best place to figure out what's going on. But come to that meeting and share your thoughts. Let's do something cool. I mean, there's so much that can be done, and I'm up for anything. I only ask forgiveness, never permission. So we can kind of make anything happen.
Okay, I think we've had a good talk today. Thank you very much for being on the show, and we hope you'll come by another time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Go Westfield, Team Westfield.